Ben, we'll see you then, and we thank you. Kentucky State Police say that Douglas Harless was shot and killed by a London police officer on the night of December 23rd. It has now been 3 weeks, and police have remained tight-lipped about the shooting.
Well, tonight, WKYT Samantha Valentino is using newly obtained records to break down the timeline of events leading up to that deadly shot.
Court records show London police were at Douglas Harless's home to serve a search warrant connected to stolen lawn equipment belonging to Laurel County Judge Executive David Westerfield. This police report says London police were called to the property just before 9:30 a.m. on December 23rd, the day Harless was killed. According to the report, the caller was Westerfield's nephew, Charles Hensley, and he told police equipment belonging to himself and his uncle had gone missing. Hobart Buttry was arrested in connection to the theft at 7:34 p.m., according to his arrest citation. Now, a dispatch report from that night explains minute by minute what happened. The run started at 11:26 p.m., labeled as serving a warrant. That's when 7 officers are dispatched and later shown en route to 489 Van Zant Road. Using documents obtained through open records requests, we've identified them as these 7 officers. They arrive at 11:48. Surveillance video from a neighbor shows officers making several attempts to knock on Harless's door and announcing themselves before what sounds like 5 gunshots. From the dispatch report, we know an officer told dispatch shots were fired at 11:51. That's when EMS is dispatched to the scene. At 11:52, Chief Jerry Holland is dispatched to the scene. KSP is shown en route 1 minute later. At 11:57, an officer says crews are rendering aid. Just 2 minutes later, another officer notifies dispatch a tourniquet has been applied. Around this time, Officer Cody Arnold is shown arriving at the scene. He's never listed as being dispatched or en route. Several units from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office and EMS units are dispatched and arrive in the meantime. Chief Holland arrives at 12:08 a.m. Assistant Chief Bobby Day shows up 17 minutes later. At 12:55, Officer Josh Morgan is shown arriving at the scene. He's never listed as being dispatched or en route. Seconds later, Officer Morgan and Chief Holland's status is shown as 10:12, which means officials or visitors are present. Less than a minute later, they're both shown heading to police headquarters. Chief Holland and Assistant Chief Day arrive at 1:36 a.m. KSP arrives at 4:22 a.m. and Officer Morgan is shown arriving just seconds behind them. The first 7 officers at the scene also arrive in the moments after. Kentucky State Police are investigating the shooting as is standard practice for shootings involving law enforcement. They have not released the name of the officer who fired the shot that killed Harless.
Samantha, thank you. And again, WKYT is still working to obtain a copy of the warrant police were serving that night, as questions have been raised about whether police were at the wrong home. We've been covering this case closely since it happened. You can scan the QR code that you see there on your screen now to download our free WKYT News app. You can use it to find our full coverage of this story inside.